All right, let's get started. Thank you all for joining us and welcome to everyone. This is the AWE Online Orientation Webinar, which is happening next week. My name is Orion Bar. I'm the co-founder of AWE and really excited to virtually meet you all next week, despite the fact that we cannot meet in the physical AWE event as was originally planned. So in the next hour, we intend to introduce you to the platform that we are going to use for AWE Online so you can prepare for AWE next week and get the most out of it. I'll start with a quick walkthrough of the different functions and how to kind of find your way in the event platform, and then try to leave plenty of time for questions. So please, if you have questions and I see they're coming in, please post them in the chat and we'll address them later. We have some of our members of the team here, so hopefully we'll be able to address every question you might have. So our goal with AWE Online was to try to retain the most important reasons that XR professionals come to AWE. And based on your feedback so far, the most important reasons are, first, you want to come and learn and get inspired through talks by leading speakers. You want to be able to explore exhibitors, interact with them. And you want to network with fellow professionals, to partner, generate leads, make new connections, maybe even find a job. And of course, trying out new demos. So how did we reimagine all these things at AWE Online? Let me share the screen with you. And we can actually see how it all looks in the platform itself. Can you all see it? All right. So to join the AWE online event, you go to online.awexr.com. First time, it takes a few seconds to load, but then it runs pretty smooth and pretty fast, so no need to refresh the browser anymore. You can also watch it on your mobile device, but that will be a bit more compact. We highly recommend to use the desktop version for the full experience during this event. So what can you do here? On the home page, you'll be able to actually watch the main stage live stream. Right there, you can see it hasn't started. And then we have an agenda of about 200 talks that will bring in kind of some of the industry leaders from across the entire ecosystem. You also want to you'll be able to network with thousands of professionals working in AR and VR, and to have private chats or video calls with them. And exhibitors will offer virtual exhibit booths. And that will allow you to get all the information about the companies, see some demos, and interact with exhibitors directly in video calls. Since it's an online event, obviously you won't be able to try yourself new hardware or new gadgets, but you'll be able to try AR and VR experiences if you have your own gear. And if you missed any talk, all the talks will be available in this platform for a full year. Through the agenda, you'll be able to watch those videos and continue to interact with people. So it's going to be a very busy week, and I personally recommend to think about it as if you're actually going to the AWE event for the whole week. Try to clear your calendar as much as you can and be as immersed as you can in this event. So how do you log in? First, you got to have a ticket to log in, and once you have a pass, you'll get in your inbox an email from Mary Potter, mary@awexr.com, with a direct link to log into Pathable, which is the platform that we're using for AWE Online. And that will be inviting you to claim your account and set up your password. Attendees will receive that email later today. And once you kind of purchase a new ticket, if you don't have one yet, you should be getting it a little bit later. All right, so how do you watch talks? Obviously, the best way is to check out the agenda. So here the agenda shows, you can filter by day, or here you can search for names of speakers or tracks. So I'm gonna click on the main stage, see the main stage talks. But keep in mind that all the times are in your local time zone. So I know the website is showing Pacific time zones, which is where the event was supposed to take place. But for your convenience, you can actually see it in your own time zone, and hopefully people can join from all over the world. So again, you can filter the talks based on different parameters. For best experience, you want to add to your agenda the talks that are of interest to you. And that will show up in your personal agenda, as well as with your private meetings. On the session page, if I go into the opening keynote, which I'm really excited about, you'll be able to see all the information about this talk. And after the talk is completed, towards the end of each day, you'll be able to watch the recorded video right here. You see the event here hasn't started, so it's still not available to be viewed. To actually view it in real time, the best way is through the live streams direct access. So you go here, you can see for each day the live streams that will take place. And let's say we go into, not this one, into the live stream 2. You'll be able to see here the event running, and right next to it, you have the chat where you can post questions. And that will allow speakers to join in live and be able to address your questions. So I think if you can, try to join those talks live and really get the most out of this conversation with the speakers. And in case you miss a talk, again, it will be available here for a full year. So you can watch it at any time at your convenience on demand. All right, so what about exhibitors? Under Expo, you can find sponsors and exhibitors, and it gives you a directory of all the exhibitors, and you can search for it using this very elaborate filter. You can search by company description, by name, by level, by different keywords, and filter it based on that. Let's take a look at one of my favorite, the AWE booth, just because I don't want to pick on any other exhibitor. And here you can get all the information about this company and their products, kind of standard stuff, website, different files that they chose to show you, showcases, or sorry, talks that will be associated with this exhibitor, as well as videos that relate to this event. But in order to really get the a similar experience to visiting a booth, first of all, you can click on I want to meet them, and that is equivalent to dropping a business card in the booth. Sorry, a request info is equivalent to dropping a business card. And then you can also have a live video conversation with one of the booth staff, which will be available right here. So let's get into Andrew here. I go ahead and schedule a meeting. You see here, it will give me all my available spots based on what I picked for the agenda and other meetings. I'm going to pick a time here, give it a short name, and the invite was sent. Andrew will get a request for this invitation in his inbox. You will actually be able to see it here in the bell whenever he gets new invitations. And when the time comes, all you have to do is just click on this join live meeting, and that will pop up a Zoom window where you can have a direct conversation with the exhibitor and the booth staff right there. So that's a little bit about the virtual booths. And next, I want to talk about special events. So we've curated a bunch of really interesting things. First of all, we have the Augie Awards, which will recognize the winners of the Augie Awards on Friday. We also have a startup pitch competition that will be cool to see 15 startups pitching in front of judges, and one of them will come out as the startup to watch. And we have side events in VR. So if you have a VR headset, you may join those leading VR collaboration systems like AltSpace or Art Symposium at the Museum of Other Realities, Engage VR, Mozilla Hubs, Glue, and others. That'll be basically part of the agenda. So make sure to check these that you want to join, and you'll get a reminder before those come up. All right, another big reason that we're all going to this event is for networking. So in the networking menu, you can see all attendees that have chosen to actually be public in this event. Of course, you can still hide yourself if you want. And then again, it's really easy to search for the type of people that you're looking for. You search by name, title, company, but also by organization type, and even kind of the objectives of why you decided to come to AWE. So let me just quickly find myself. I have my doppelganger here, so I can also invite him for a meeting. I can check out the profile, see what's going on, and then invite that attendee for a meeting, similar to what I did before, where it could be a Zoom call or a chat or anything like that. All right, so that's about attendees. We also have public discussions, and here we have assembled experts from around the world in 40 different topics that are currently of high interest for the XR industry. They're not here yet. They'll come in before the event starts. So to join the conversation, you just go to public discussions. You can search it by topic or by people, and just join the conversation. So I'm really counting on you for an inspiring conversation here. You can pin talks, you can like talks, reply, and so on. So last thing I want to talk about is how to prepare for the event to make the best out of it. So when you log in, first thing I would recommend is to, under my account, to go into your profile and really make it ready for the event. So people can find you, and you can really find the people that you're looking to meet. You can specify that in the objectives to join AWE. You can also see your own agenda here. So everything that I marked, as well as all my personal meetings, will be here. And I can also look at it in kind of a calendar view, which is can be a bit overwhelming, but for those who want it, it's possible. What else can I do under my account? You can view your inbox. So if there's any invitations, conversations, things like that that come in, you can check it out here. And can, of course, log in and log out. So these are kind of the main things. What I would recommend is, again, to explore all the different talks on the agenda, exhibitors, and mark those that are really of high interest to you, so that by the time everybody joins, you already know who you want to meet with and get the best out of this event. As always, privacy is very important for us. Your email will not be shared with anybody. And if you want to get more information about privacy policy and code of conduct, you can see it here under the menu, under About. By the way, you can also see some of the latest news about AWE is published on our website. If you need any help, you can always chat with this little bubble on the bottom right-hand side. AWE staff will be available to answer all questions. You just click on it and type in your message, and people will join shortly. So that's it. That's kind of what I wanted to cover. Can't wait to see you all next week. Let's make this a great experience for everybody and really help advance the XR industry in the absence of physical events. Before we address some of your questions, I want to introduce two key members of the AWE team that made this event possible, Andrew and Andrea. I want to start with Andrew to tell us a bit about the exhibitor experience, and then Andrea a little bit more about logistics. So Andrew, ready?
Yeah. Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, first of all, if you ever have any questions, don't get to the point where you're frustrated. Always reach out to us. We've got people ready to help. I've worked pretty closely with Nate and Dave on customizing the sponsor and exhibitor profiles that are best suited for attendees to get the information they're looking for. And then one thing that is pretty tough to preview prior to the event, but we have been working with sponsors and exhibitors on their actual virtual booth. So the sponsors and exhibitors that choose to have a virtual presence where basically you click that button, it takes you into a live webinar on page with their staff members during the conference hours. So that it is basically just you can't miss it. It's a giant orange button that shows up on their profile. And that'll be available. And if you're, as an attendee, if you're ever, can't find a solution that you're really looking for or anything at all, we're definitely here to help, not only with technical issues, but also connecting the right parties with each other. So if there's somebody you're looking to meet or you just need help finding something, feel free to use the chat. Or you can even go to the AWE profile, which we will leave live during the event. You can engage with all of us there as well, right through Pathable. So whatever's easier for you guys, and definitely looking forward to receiving feedback, because this is obviously our first go around on the digital front. So any feedback will definitely be welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andrew. Andrea, a few words on your side?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Andrea Lowry. I've been with AWE for a long time. This is my 11th event, so of 11. But really, really excited about the digital online opportunity. So Ori already covered a lot of my super exciting logistics stuff, like the terms and conditions and the privacy policy. But I do want to touch just briefly on the code of conduct, and it's very similar to when we're meeting face to face, just making sure to keep our chats on topic, respectful, you know, same as if we were meeting in real life in California. And definitely want to encourage everybody to use that help button, because we are here. We're here everywhere. We're here all over the place, and want to be helpful in any way that we can to make your experience great. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. And now I see a bunch of questions coming in. Let's try to start addressing them. So first, if you on your own profile, you don't see request info or want to meet, it's probably because it's your own profile. But if you look at others, you should be able to see that, and others, when others look at your profile, they'll see that button as well. So I think that should address that question.
And I also want to chime in here too, since I'm managing for that. The want to meet button literally is like a bookmark. So it goes to your edit profile. If you go up into your edit profile, if you go to a sponsor, click want to meet, it'll save it for you, and it goes up into your edit profile, and you can look and see the who you want to go back to connect with. Oh, never mind. I guess that's supposed to be, they're going to remove it. Never mind, they're removing.
Yeah, sorry, it was kind of duplicated from the request info. That's we're waiting on the developers to remove it. The request info, you can type a message, it goes to whoever you're sending it to. In theory, we were trying to make a want to meet feature so that you could keep a list or a bookmark. But the request info button will serve that purpose.
There's a question about press. So for exhibitors, if you want to connect with press, you have new announcements, let us know. Ask your exhibitor team, and we'll try to connect with the press people. What else I'm seeing here?
Or there's some questions about presentation availability after the 1 year period.
So are the videos going to be available publicly after? Most likely, yes. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, how are people kind of using it throughout the year? As I said before, it's kind of the first time that we're doing this kind of online event. So we're learning as much as many others are. But the idea is for the first year, it will be exclusively available only to those who have purchased a ticket and have access to AWE Online.
Thank you.
Any other questions I missed?
I see a question here about the exhibits, the hours of the exhibits being available, or if they'd be available for beyond the event.
Yeah, so that's a great question. There's a couple answers here. So one, the profiles are open 24/7. The virtual booth, which is a webinar inside the profile, that's going to be during the actual live hours. So Tuesday through Friday will be 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time, and it require the sponsor or exhibitor can choose if they'd like to have that enabled or not. So not every sponsor and exhibitor will have that, but the ones that choose to have that staffed will be there. Regardless, there's places to discuss with them on a discussion board. You can send private messages. You can click the staff members, set up schedule a meeting or video call, regardless of that feature as well.
Thank you, Andrew. And just to add, in case, I mean, after the event is concluded, the networking function will continue to work. So you can definitely try to contact people. We hope that people will continue to use this platform as a way to interact with other people, at least in chat and communications and things like that. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, I hope that especially the public conversations and the chat will continue to work for the whole year as kind of a place where you can go and get kind of a good dense list of companies and people that are really at the core of this industry. Other questions? How do you block time on your calendar when you're not available? Andrew, you have an idea? I mean, I guess you can probably just have mock meetings with, team members or something like that, or I think that's probably the easiest way to achieve that.
Yeah, I'm not sure outside of, I mean, nothing will ever, like when you go to schedule a meeting, you'll see what's on your calendar at that time. It's not going to let you double book, but there's not really a way to block it out unless you, I guess, just made a mock meeting like Ori just suggested. People can request and you can decline and suggest an alternative time, but I don't think there's necessarily a way to block out specific parts of your agenda.
All right, some more questions. Anyone want to ask a live question? So I think the staff members on the booth was already answered, I believe. How do you set up
a question
staff
about the
member?
Museum of Other Realities. Did you see that one, Ori?
No, what's the question?
Is the price of the Museum of Other Realities app included in the AWE ticket?
So the access to the AWE event to the AWE event within the Museum of Other Realities is included. So there's no additional cost for that during AWE. That's an exclusive benefit you're getting for joining the event.
So I just connected. Where's the online schedule for all the talks? Is that the same as what it was before?
Let me share again my screen, just a second. And this is the platform that we are using for AWE this year. And you'll see there's a menu on top. So under agenda, you'll be able to see all the talks based on day and track, and you can search it based on different filters, and then add it to your own agenda. And yeah, and take it from there. That addresses the question.
And just to clarify, if you're not accessing that right now, only speakers, sponsors, and exhibitors are in the platform. Attendees will get invites this afternoon Eastern time.
All right, so I should just wait for that invite.
Yep. Yeah, you'll get a unique link that'll log you in, and you can then go straight to your profile, start updating things, and see all of this stuff.
Yeah, I have not signed up for the conference yet because I wanted to see how functional it was.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, once you sign up, you'll get in.
I am on your email list, and I've actually been an exhibitor at the conference before in the past. So I presume I'll get everything then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you
for joining us.
There's a question in chat about whether the emails and meeting requests come to your real email as well as the platform.
Yes,
yes
email
do.
invitations will go also to your email, your inbox. So in case you left the event for a second, hopefully not for too long, you'll get an email that kind of tells you about what's happening and tell you about meeting invites and so on. Other questions? If you're still on the fence regarding joining AW Online, if you've been to the physical event and you're kind of wondering if this is going to be equivalent, it's different, but ask the questions, ask us what is really important for you in the event, and we'll try to convince you that it's definitely worth your time.
Yeah, and Ori, I see a question from Colleen. Hey, Colleen, been a while. What should we do if we do not have an Orange Live booth on our exhibitor page? You should contact Megan and tell us that you want it, and then we can enable that for you guys.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
So I have a quick question. First of all, I think you guys are doing a great job because I've been going to some other virtual conferences, and yeah, just I think you guys really organized this well.
Thank you.
For like hallway conference, that kind of a thing, we've gone over that a little bit, but how, like, what's the best simulation for the way you might just bump into somebody and have a conversation here?
So, first, wherever you see a person, whether it's a speaker or an exhibitor or just an attendee on a list of a chat, for example, you can click on their name and request to meet and invite them to a meeting. And if you click on the invite to a Zoom meeting, you can basically have a face-to-face conversation with them pretty much in real time if they're available. So I think that would be the closest possible. But we're looking for other ideas. I mean, if there's like there's an opportunity to add to the agenda like small group meetings. So if it's like birds of a feather on a certain topic, it's limited. We cannot add too many of those. But if you have something that you think would be of interest to a group of people, we'd be happy to add that to the agenda.
No, and my question was maybe more about, and I think that's great. It's just, and it's a hard one, but it's the serendipity of sort of like, just that's what I've kind of been looking at lately. How do you get that serendipity?
Let me show you an example. So if you're watching my share screen, this is kind of the live stream 2, and you can see here. You can type chat and so on during the talks. Under people, you can actually see the people that are participating in the session right now. So it's like, someone sitting right next to you You click on that person, and then you can invite them to for a chat or a Zoom call. So it's as close as possible to.
No, that's good. And you can
sense.
also just do messaging, I guess, in there too. Is
Yeah, you can send a message. You can schedule a meeting, add them to your want to meet list.
Okay, cool. No, that's very helpful. Thank you.
I have a question about the request the info box on an exhibitor profile. If someone's filling in that form and that box, where does that information go to? Does it go to all staff associated with that company's profile, or just to one person?
That goes to everyone that's on the stat. That's staff on the actual profile. And it'll go as a notification and a message. It'll also add them to your lead list as well.
And is there any way of changing that, or is it just open with no?
I mean, each individual user can change what notifications they get, but I don't think you can choose exactly who gets the want to meet. It would just go to all staff, and then you guys could choose who wants to either reply to it or take care of it.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So Andrew, this is an exhibitor question as well. Someone's asking if they can sort. Right now, the exhibitor staff is listed alphabetically, but they're asking if they can sort key staff members to the top. And I think it's just alphabetical, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's just
I actually answered him.
alphabetical.
I answered Jesse. Jesse and I have been chatting.
Oh, okay.
So
Thank you, Megan.
I got Jesse. So.
Okay.
Megan's the best.
So Rosario is asking how speakers connect and answer questions after the talk. Well, first of all, each talk will have about 5 minutes of Q&A at the end of it, or each panel. So that's the opportunity to really address questions that come in chat. If you're interested to meet with people afterwards, just tell them that they can reach out to you and schedule meetings or chat with you and follow up.
And for speakers, we will be sending Zoom link information by the end of the day tomorrow for participating in the Q&A.
I see another one for sponsors, exhibitors. This afternoon, once we get the attendees in, you will then be able to see your lead list. The question is, where do you see your exhibitor lead list? You would just go to on the navigation, my account, and then edit my organization. And you can do it that way, and you'll see your lead list right in there. Or you can just go to your exhibitor page and click manage, and you'll see the lead list there too.
I see here a question that was sent privately, but I think it's really interesting. It's basically saying that, it's really valuable to be able to have that experience and connect with people and see talks and so on. And the question is, what will happen next year? Let's say we're out of the pandemic. Will things go back to normal where it's just a physical event, or will this support the physical event in some way? So of course, there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know when that's going to happen and if we're going to go back to normal or not. But I think the intention is that, once we have whole experienced this kind of thing online, it could be a very valuable tool to support the event throughout the year, 365 days a year. And I think that could be a really interesting thing to consider for the future. But time will tell exactly how these things will play out. Question about the live speaker Q&A. That will be actually, part of it will be in the talk, in the video that you see. So that's always going to be available. And the questions will remain in the chat for the duration of the year. So that's all going to be available right there in the talk itself.
Yeah, I see another exhibitor question. So is it possible to make sure only certain team members are the ones that attendees can schedule meetings with. Yes, that's by only giving Megan the booth staff that you want. So if you're booth staff, people can schedule meetings with you. Booth staff should not be somebody that's not available to schedule meetings and speak with attendees.
There's also a question whether you can see the agenda before you purchase a ticket. Yeah, just go to our website, awexr.com. The agenda there is fully up to date. And actually you can see all information about exhibitors and sponsors as well. So it gives you all the information. You just cannot join the event and really experience it in real time.
Hi there, Ori.
Hey.
Similarly to how you just explained that you can browse a list of people that are viewing a live stream, is there a way, is that functionality also enabled for, you know, viewing who's standing at the current booth you're at or the page that you're at while you're there? You know, because one of the things that I've kind of noticed that being at AWE in the past is like the people that you're kind of standing around with that have the very same interests as you are people that you often want to speak to.
Yeah, I'll answer that one, Ori, unless you want to.
No, go ahead.
So I've tried many different methods to achieve this. With Pathable, I think the best way is through the virtual trade show booth. You know, if you're an exhibitor or you're a sponsor, you should definitely request that we enable that for you. Or if that's your screen, go ahead and click it. Go ahead and click it. I just turned it on.
Okay, cool.
You basically can go in here, so you can see the booth staff and you can join. So like, for example, it doesn't open up until 8 a.m. Pacific on Tuesday, but once that's open, the staff will be here and the staff can actually, you know, stream video straight in here, and you can see the people that are in here as well. So like, if you're a sponsor or exhibitor, this is incredibly valuable because then you can see people that are adding this to, you know, their schedule, and you can connect with them. They can join your live meeting and things like that. So I think this is the best we could come up with respect to that feature in the short period of time. But we're open to ideas. If you have like a,
yeah, but this is pretty equivalent to,
yeah.
You see now
this is
Ted and myself are standing right in front of the AWE booth, and we can chat, so, or meet and have a video conference.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I was suggesting.
Cool.
It looks great. One last small question as well on the kind of topic of more unstructured conversation. The you know, the method you've suggested is to sort of instigate conversations in a one-to-one fashion. Is it going to be possible to create little group conversations with people on this platform, or will we need to use external video conferencing apps for that?
You mean a video group conversation?
Well, I mean, voice, video. I mean, so just in the same way that I can instigate a conversation with someone on a one-to-one basis, if there's a group of us there that are all interested in discussing the same talk, or, you know, like previously you might go off to the bar or something and have a chat together. Is there a group conversation functionality?
You can add as many people, not as many people, but up to I believe 50 people to meeting. So you just use this here, add people, add additional people, and so on, and then schedule a meeting for everybody.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I have a question. Will it be possible to schedule meetings in advance with people that are not exhibitors? Is there like a directory of attendees and maybe their company, and in order to kind of reach out in advance if you see, yeah.
Yes, there is. You go to under networking to attendees, you can see the full list of all attendees. You can filter it based on name, company, keywords, and so on, and then schedule meetings with them.
Perfect. Thanks.
Or have a chat, whatever you prefer.
Hey, Andrew, a quick question. This is Colleen, a quick question. Ted mentioned that when he does the drop down in networking, attendees isn't coming up. Who do we reach out to try and correct that issue?
No, it's not an issue. We haven't loaded the attendees yet. Attendee invites will go out this afternoon, and then that's when that will be visible.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
And another question with regards to the schedule, is it finalized? I'm seeing some missing information. or are folks still working on it?
Andrew, you have an answer? I mean, it's probably still in the works, right? I mean, as close as possible to what we were able to achieve so far, but it will be fully up to date by the event.
Okay.
The event starts.
Yeah, it's still settling a little bit.
Yeah, agenda is always a moving target until you get to the day, but as of right now, what's 100% confirmed should be on there now. So if you see something that you think is supposed to be on there, let us know. We're usually pretty thorough with that, but you know, in case there's a mistake, definitely let us know.
For our panel, only one of the panelists is listed as speaker. I can email you.
Yeah, shoot us an email and we'll get that fixed up.
Thank you so much.
Somebody's asking about the recording of this. So yes, we'll post this recording after the meeting is over, so you can use it to train and educate other folks. All right, any new questions that we missed?
Can you speak a little bit more about what happens when you add someone to that useful list of people you want to meet? Are they actively contacted with that list of attendees and exhibitors who want to meet with them, or is it just, where does that information go and how is it used?
So that's actually just for your own purpose, so you know who you want to meet with, and from that you can actually chat with them and invite them to meetings. But this is kind of just your own, and that list, you know what, I'm blanking on where it is. Andrew, do you remember where you can see it?
No, they're actually, the want to meet button is, Pathwell was trying to build that for us in time for the event, but they aren't able to. So it's for the sponsors and exhibitors purposes, there's a request info. And then for the actual attendees, you could just go to the profile and schedule meetings. Your want to meet list, looks like they did get it.
Yeah, it's under attendees. Sorry, under attendees, you have your want to meet list. So every time you add somebody to it, you'll see it here on the list. As you can see, I want to meet with a lot of people.
And what do the people who you want to meet see?
Again, until you send them an invite or chat, they will not see that.
Okay, so if you send them an invite and they either don't accept or don't respond, the meeting is not happening?
That's right. I guess like in real life.
Just a quick UX thing, you know, it might be good to say that at the top, that this is private just to the person, because I might have been inhibited to like start, you know, checking people off if I'm not sure if I actually want to talk to them.
Yeah, I see your point.
I think we should, another UX thing is to let people know that the meeting is not scheduled till it's accepted, because I think the interface sort of feels like it's going to happen and it shows up on your calendar.
Yeah, but it says very clearly that it hasn't been accepted. If I can quickly show it.
Is anyone else offended that they didn't make it to Ori's want to meet list?
I didn't show the whole thing. I just saw the first few lines. So, okay, so you see here, you can see that there's still no response. And on your calendar, you also see that, if I look at my agenda, you see it's still not confirmed. When there's a check mark, you know it's confirmed.
And do you get a notification when he accepts?
Yes.
Can you request a meeting with multiple people at the same time until one accepts and then it we'll kind of cancel the other ones that you have pending, or just one per time slot?
I'm not sure.
Until it's confirmed, you should be able to do multiple, and then
yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely not to be abused, but
yeah,
I think that'll be a little bit of trial and error. Yeah, I would try to definitely organize your schedule appropriately, but yeah, we definitely have things in place. We don't want everyone going through the full attendee list, which is over 2,000 people, and just adding everyone to meetings. That it wouldn't be beneficial for anyone.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Last few questions before we conclude.
Okay, so I have a question. I sort of want to have a different call to action listed on our booth. For example, we have some special offer for our booth visitors. Is there a way I can place it on our booth?
When you say call to action, is it a file that you want them to download, like a VR app?
It's actually a link to a special landing page we created for the event. Because for now we have a call to action view website and the other social profiles. And I don't really think that people would be interested going to check our Facebook at the event. So I would rather have some special landing page so people can, for example, try our services for free.
Sure. Yeah, the way you would do that is just in the description. So it's a rich text field, your description. And so you could just put it at the bottom of the description or anywhere in the description. But adding an actual widget similar to all the other widgets on your profile would not be possible because that's system wide. So it would have to go in the description. And later today, you should be able to, some folks may have access already to edit their organization, but if you don't, it should be available in another couple hours. You can go and edit your description and add your links there.
Okay, thank you.
I see a question from Abdul, whether we'll have a virtual interactive experience like was in the Laval event. So our approach was to really make this accessible to the widest possible audience. People may not have VR headsets or other devices. So that's why, it's live streamed, it's on the web, on your desktop or mobile. We do have a bunch of VR events where you can actually go and have, a happy hour in Alt Space, or a symposium about art in the Museum of Other Realities and so on. So that you'll be able to check out those under the side events in VR. And if you have a headset, you can join.
Would it be okay? Hi, this is Mary. I'm the registration manager. I wanted to kind of make a blanket statement for posterity. So I do get a lot of emails about people not receiving their tickets, or they don't see their tickets in the download, things like that. Do not dismay, my friends. If you have registered with sales, if you've registered for a ticket, whether it's exhibit or attendee or whatever, if you've done that, even if you have not actually gotten an email with your ticket because of spam filters, or maybe you misspelled your name. Actually, that'll be an issue if you've misspelled your name. Let me know if you think you've done that. But any other issue that where it got caught in.
And on a related note, speakers.
I promise.
Speakers can bring a +1. So if you wanna invite another person, just let us know, and we'll offer that complimentary pass for a speaker.
So I wanted you guys to know that you don't, because of the way we're doing this, you don't actually need a physical email ticket from AWE. You just need to register and pay to get in, and you're registered. And that goes for anybody who bought tickets earlier on, before the show went online, you're automatically registered. You don't need to do anything. You'll also get your login credentials. If you got furloughed, if you no longer work for the company you work for, please let me know as soon as possible so we can update your email in the system so that you do get those login credentials. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Sorry, you said the speakers get +1. Does this +1 have to be from the same company?
No, we never
Okay.
said that. You can invite anyone you want.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last chance for questions. I mean, of course, you can always ask us on the website and so on, but this is an opportunity to get some live answers. Okay, guys, hopefully that was helpful for you. For those who are on the fence, again, it's really a super affordable. So what do you have to lose? You know, check it out, get to know some people, check out some talks for a full year. Hope to see you there, and wish you all a fantastic weekend and a great week next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.